Football League. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, longtime foes square off in the NFC East as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaughan, Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center. Their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
That's complete to Traylon Burks. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Brings up third and inches. Daniel's going to try to sneak, and he's going to have the Commanders' first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Well, they go play action. Daniels. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Daniels. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They go play action with Hurts. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
That's complete to Wicks. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the 24 now, here's the 2nd and 8. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and good. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they go instead with Barkley. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they come up now 2nd and goal. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead it 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Now Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Daniels looking to throw. He'll try and do this himself. Shifts by him. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be Eagles foot. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley, able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage.
But sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Hurts to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. To the air goes Daniels. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
A gain of 12 yards.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Daniels. Throw left side complete. That's Lane. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard line.
Back to throw. Daniels. Pass caught. It's Lane with it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. It's the rookie from Clemson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. They'll look to throw again. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. They find some open field here. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the 1st half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Now it's JCM, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That is caught. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Fair to say it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Makes the score Eagles 7.
So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
At their own 35-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. Oh, that is incomplete. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 34. And they'll run the option to start the drive. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, Most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Hurts sets up to throw it. It's caught. Smith. And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he's up to the 45. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
From the 45 on second down, Hurts. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
But give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Second down and goal. Hurts toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And The tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down in a 21-yard game.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. On first down, it's Krosky-Merritt. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10 now, third quarter action from Philadelphia, PA. Here's Daniels. Got his man, Okonkwo. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play. multiple plays that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Now, 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10. And McLaurin, the motion man right. Back to throw again. He'll get that out to the flat to White. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll swing this out to Krosky Merritt. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They defer to White out of the shotgun. And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Operating from the gun, Daniels. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now Daniels going to keep it, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
He'll try to pick it up himself, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
Jake Moody now for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. A first down carry for Barkley. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And now we're getting a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth. On 2nd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Well, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. This is 1st and 10. Now Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Daniels looking to throw. Gets it to Burks. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Short throw taken in by Conqueror. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Misdirection's the key on this play. They line up with 3 receivers to the opposite side of the tight end, and they're all going to work their way across the field and let the tight end slip underneath against flow the other way. They're banking that he can get lost, and that's exactly what happened as they pick up a first down.
His throw incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
But just over a minute to go in the football game. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Finds White.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. To throw is Daniels. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be, and now it's 4th down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Another one in the books for us, partner. Always great to be by your side. And both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.